Hey, darling.
Welcome to the Las Vegas Pride podcast.
Yoo-hoo!
Yoo-hoo.
Hi, gays. Welcome to Las Vegas Pride Podcast, a podcast featuring Las Vegas Pride, our community here in Las Vegas, and the greater community at large.
Celebrating community, unity, and all of the above.
Join us and let's start the show. My name is Meliton. I'm Mr. Las Vegas Pride 2026-2027, and I have here with me Brady, our president of the organization. How are you doing, Brady?
I'm great, Meliton. How are you?
I would say it's a good. It was an interesting week, that's for sure.
Oh, why so?
Well, if we are here in this channel, let's start with the most important things that happened this week. What do you think about that lovely Stonewall situation where they removed the flags?
We're opening with who did you vote for? That's great. Yeah, Stonewall Inn this week, unfortunately, had the administration, our current White House, put an end. It is a national monument, by the way. It is a historical place for our community where a lot of our movement had begun. Not where our movement totally began, but you know, it depends on the movie you watch. But the real story is that we, as a community, came together to show our strength, and that's why we're here now. And Stonewall's a big piece of that puzzle. But as a statement, our White House decided to remove the LGBT flags from that monument. And the community has risen up yet again, as they should, to make a stand and put some flags up around the space to reclaim it for ourselves.
And that's exactly why I think it's just as important as it was before to have an organization like us, Pride organization in every city, is because these issues are actually happening. It's not like LGBTQIA people are safe everywhere. They are not. We don't have all the rights. It's not like we don't getting attacked constantly by different administration, not just by this. So, what do you think? How is it gonna lead? Like, where this is gonna lead? Why is it important to have this organization still, and we're doing what we're doing right now?
Yeah. So you know, microaggression or being treated differently or having less access is still versions of what we deal with today, and all minority communities experience a level of that. And yeah, being openly attacked on the street is obviously a version of that. And not to argue with you, but that is still happening. People still are, harmed outside of, their normal lives. And increasingly in our daily lives. And when we're being asked to vote and what things affect us, and our participation in society is often, permeated with this lack of a social contract for safety for minorities, which is unfortunate, right? So no rights have ever been freely given out. And even when they have been fought for and won, they've often been resistantly applied. And so we, as participants in our community, we as people in positions of privilege to be able to affect change and to speak on these subjects and to advocate for that, in my opinion, are morally obligated to, but we also enjoy standing up for, advocating for, educating about, showing numbers of the people that want these changes, and calling attention to them. So yeah, even if it feels like a small piece of a puzzle or something not worth mentioning, it is worth mentioning that our rights, our ability, our innate human right for life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, liberty and justice for all, those things mean something. And I think everyone in the United States, in the world, human beings deserve those things. And we should be calling it out when we're not getting a fair share. And billionaires having everything is bad for everyone. And the rights of people being respected is good for everyone. So welcome to the podcast.
And I do need to say, me as a immigrant person who moved here a couple of years ago, I want to say thank you for you and the organization, even before I joined, because I felt welcomed. I felt encouraged to show my true side, what I never experienced before anywhere. And I think these are those small little things what can affect a person's life and in moving it to the better way. And I think your leadership and Pride, it's definitely provided to me, at least this opportunity. And I feel privileged and honored to be here in the podcast.
Welcome, Gay. Well, not for me to totally take over, but tell us a little bit about your story and your coming out and what that is to you, right? How did you come to be here with us today?
Yeah, so I didn't fully came out when I lived in Hungary. I moved here 10 years ago when I was 19. And nobody really knew that I was gay back in Hungary. There was one or two people.
They knew.
Well, I never said it out loud. It was obvious, but
Okay.
I never said it out loud. And when I
Sure.
came to the United States, first I was in LA. It was an interesting experience because I was trying to find myself, but I never really found any gay person to be friend with. And once I moved to Vegas,
In LA?
I didn't speak too much English.
Okay.
I know it sounds like I don't speak it right now.
When are you going to learn? Yeah.
But I'm
Just
trying to get better with it. And once I came to Vegas and I turned 21, that's when I started going to the Pride events and the bars, the nights, the drag queen nights, and all of those events with the festival and the parade. And I feel I was in a really privileged situation to have friends who encouraged me to don't be scared to show how is it to be gay, because the first couple of times when I went to a gay bar or I was around gay people, I was acted how I was back in Hungary, really straight-ish. Like you hold back, you don't want to dance because you worry that somebody's gonna make a comment. You don't hold somebody's hands on the street because you worried. So having the organization, having those places when I was able to go and I experienced that nobody was judging, helped me to be here with a pink suit and being fabulously gay right now.
Hello.
I was able to come out of my shell.
That's great. And that's led you to now.
And now so a couple of years ago when I figured it out, like how much it changed my life, I wanted to give back to the community. And that's one of the reasons I went back to school too, to study law, to eventually be a civil rights lawyer, a criminal lawyer, so I can give back to the underprivileged communities and able to protect them from the harms. And in the same time, I wanted to join Pride because I think these changes what you gave me, I want to give back to the newer generation, because I know there are people still out there who are not 100% comfortable with themselves. They are closeted or they don't find a way. And every time when we go to an event, I love doing what I'm doing as Mr. Las Vegas Pride, because I always go to people and I talk to people and I don't care how they look like. I don't care where they come from. My main thing that if you are here, I want you to feel welcomed. I want you to feel recognized. I want you to know that we see you and we are here for you. You can do whatever you want here. We're not going to judge you. And that's the one thing I really try to push every event where we are. And that gives me privilege to be able to give back what I get from you guys before. So
it's nice, to hear you say that, and thank you for obviously the compliments and all of your contributions.
I'm trying.
It has been a great joy and privilege of mine to help people kind of explore and come to realize that the societal pressures of not maybe feeling like they can celebrate their true and authentic self, when people can push past that or have the opportunity to do that, I've been blessed to see people experience that joy of honesty and self-expression that you were just talking about. And the societal pressures of conforming and blending in and being a certain way, I think, is a system of control that we all can push back on. And that isn't to say that non-conformity in all of its aspects is bad. Like obviously there's, law and order and things that we can contribute to, but pushing past that, anything that is not affecting someone else and that is affecting yourself only, and that's bringing health, happiness, wealth, or joy to yourself, should be something that you are totally in charge of, and that other outside forces should not diminish or have a say in, right?
Exactly. So for me, I want to move a little bit a different way with this conversation right now,
Pivot.
because I think we need to talk about it, because for our audience, I think it's important to people to understand how Las Vegas Pride is actually operating and what's the challenges we're facing. So, because as the president here next to me, I need you to please tell the viewers and for me explain. We getting a lot of sometimes critics of, oh my God, these events are not as good. Oh my God, we don't have that big of a festival. Can you explain to the viewers like how much we actually struggle to get those donations? Like it's not an easy way what people think that everybody just donating for this organization and we have millions and millions of dollars. We have a really really limited resources to move on. So can you just please tell the viewers the challenges we're facing in this city?
Yeah. So a tiny bit about me. So I was born here in Las Vegas. A long time in the 1900s, right? So when I was born in 85 here in town, the population of Las Vegas was right at 200,000 people. Today in Las Vegas, the population is just over 2 million people. So it's an incredible amount of growth. And depending on the year, it's been declining a little bit recently, but roughly 50 to 60 million people per year visit Las Vegas. So those are some interesting numbers. The whole state of Nevada is less than 3 million people. And we expect by 2030 that there'll be around 3 million people in Clark County, so in Southern Nevada and Las Vegas. I have been a volunteer with Las Vegas Pride since 2008, roughly, when I was probably similar in age to you.
What are you talking about? You're 21.
It's forever 18. So in that amount of time, I've served as a volunteer here. Most of the time as the organization's secretary, but I guess it's fading into the past now that I've been the president for the last 7 years, I believe. And so, yeah, an incredible amount of change. So in that time, obviously Las Vegas has changed a lot. Obviously our movement has changed quite a bit, or society in general. And yeah, during that time, we've launched our magazine product. We've had our annual parade and festival events. We have developed into a very much recurring, it's often referred to in Pride organizations as a 365 program, where we do Pride events throughout the year, not just a parade and festival. And so, yeah, we try to uplift and engage the community, tell our stories, celebrate our culture, right? And encourage people to have fun, all the while remaining solvent and being able to do those things with most of the time an all volunteer format. So using volunteer time, and yeah, so it's a labor of love very much. Specifically speaking to some finance and some of those pieces of the puzzle, we are a 501c3. That's a federal designation for our type of organization. We're a tax-exempt federal organization, tax-exempt in the state of Nevada. And that is, a designation, right? That doesn't automatically mean that we're accessing anything or getting any funding. So any funds that we get, we have been self-generating. We have applied for several things that we have not necessarily been able to access, especially given the current state of politics, right? So it's very much a political system that we operate under. So without accessing any state, federal, or local funding for the most part, we get like a few thousand here and there from a few different things. But we have operated in the 43 years of our organization basically self-generating all of our funding through events, through our bingos, through some advertising revenue that we get, through the parade and festival, hopefully being successful. Ticket sales and the generosity of our community. So we are very much powered by you, the people who are engaging with our podcast, reading our magazine, coming to our events, and considering giving to our cause. So not to put words in your mouth, but yeah, the presumption or assumption that we somehow have an access to, I don't know, some unlimited or ethereal or magical source of funding, or that we're well funded is not kind of based in any kind of reality. We try to present a high level of polish and bring things that are high quality and high finish to the forefront. But we do fight uphill against the rising costs of doing events and providing entertainment in the entertainment capital of the world, where multi-billion-dollar companies struggle to do that as well. So it's an interesting landscape that we're in. I rambled. So what follow-up questions do you have for me, Melatonin?
Well, for that, to add a little bit, I think it's important for everybody to know that much as we're struggling with that, there is another aspect, but I personally having issues with it too, that we as Las Vegas Pride, since I was part of it too, like you do those events and you do all of the efforts what you put inside of it, and you really try to make it the best as you can. And after you see that there are some organization in town, in like big corporations who love using the rainbow washing version, like just put the rainbow on it, buy from us. And these are the organizations and some of those big corporations who just take away from the cause what we actually representing. And even we have some organizations here in town who just pretend to do the same thing as we do, but they're not really successful about it, or they're just taking away from those small amount of resources what we can get to benefit themselves. And I think this is the problem sometimes, especially here in Las Vegas, when we are not actually uniting together. That some of these organizations just want to do their own thing. And I think it's important to figure out that we have the same cause. We should work together. We been here 43 years, as you said. So I don't understand why we need to fight sometimes. Like, we should work together as people, and some people just want to cause those damages and drama instead of just, hey, let's work together. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think you're posing a good question. So in general, right? So we talked a little bit about societal pressure and the lack of funding that there is for organizations like us, and how those pressures, conspire to keep minority voices in line, right? So limited resources is a thing that permeates through a lot of what we do, right? So, and in a lot of marginalized communities, that lack of resource often leads to a position of defensiveness, right? There's not enough to go around, right? And protecting. I try very much to have an expansive and more is more, and they'll sure, God, there'll be enough food, right? Like, oh sure, invite your friends. We try very much to and portray that polished, exterior. Although it is a struggle, and then we are working on borrowed time and lack of these resources. Specifically to a rainbow washing angle, it is challenging to tell our story and to have our identity, and then to have a lack of understanding of when something is and isn't benefiting us. And just because there's a rainbow on it, or just because the word pride is on it, does not mean that it's a benefit to our organization, our cause, or to the work that we're doing, which we very much do try to make be a benefit for as many people as we can. And so that's a challenge. There are specifically some examples that are some of our sports things that happen in town that call themselves Pride Night that are not, unfortunately. Yeah, some of the sports things that happen are called Pride something, and in most cities they would be associated with their Pride organization. Not all of them here have done that, unfortunately, and other examples exist in that lane. And we also do have examples of other types of events that happen that are not affiliated with us, do not benefit us in any way, that happen, that don't tell the story in the same way, don't send funds to something that benefits anyone other than a for-profit brand. And so we will potentially be increasing our clarification around some of those things. And that's not meant to be threatening, but it is a threat to us that our name is being used.
That's what I want to say. Don't forget to mention that they do love to use that name.
Yeah, so I will say that we, in our high level of polish, and there are some brands and some big name things that are very important, that have very much supported us and do have their hearts, their real intentions in the right places. In I deal with them directly in a lot of ways. Like I can see it that they mean it and they want to do well for our community and put the things in the right place and send their love, care, and frankly dollars that make what we do possible to the right place. And we do our best to try to feature these things, as best we can. There are limits to that as well. That's just how it works. Some of our advertising partners too, that's a way that we clarify that these are not donating, these are buying ads. So if you ever want to know more about some specifics about how the IRS tracks what we do, income that we get, how we power what we're doing, pull me aside. I'm happy to talk.
And we are really transparent too. Like everything is public, like without hiding anything. If you want to see, you can go up to our website, lasvegaspride.org, and you can check everything. Everything is up there, uploaded. So go ahead.
Yeah, our meetings are available. It is increasingly challenging to find people like yourself who are ready, willing, and able to contribute. Time has become a weapon that the billionaires are using to keep us from getting where we need to be, right? We have to work harder and to be able to afford to live. And so volunteer time is unfortunately something that people don't have to give. Money is not necessarily something that people have to give. So solving how we continue to produce what we are trying to do and achieve our goals and to hopefully raise all tides is something that we continue to struggle for.
That is, you can always go to the website, check out when is our public meeting, come to the meeting, you can join us. There are multiple committees where you can join and you can do a volunteer work. If you have someone who would like to donate, we have the donating you can donate something on the website, lasvegaspride.org. So you can check out all of that if you would like to be involved. And if you want to, for moving towards a little bit more happier conversation.
I will say
okay.
that participation is enough. Like participating in what we're doing is a protest. It is supporting us. We try to make it super easy to be involved in that way.
Yes.
Coming to bingo, you can participate in bingo for as little as $10. It's not just showing our numbers of how many LGBT people there are in our community. It raises a small amount of money for our organization from each person that comes. It's also fun and it creates that sense of community. And any of those things that are aggregative, that grow and build, I think are really what we need right now, and to show the strength that we have in numbers. They will continue to try to divide us and show us that there's less people, less voice, less power by separating our marginalized communities. LGBT affects everyone, every race, every gender, every ethnic group, every social class, every income level. LGBT people are everywhere. And so it's a unique amalgamation, right, of people. And it is a big number, between 1 and 10 in my generation. Kids these days, they're saying 2 and 10 are LGBT identified.
Yes.
Not surprising that it's becoming you're fine. That it is becoming more and more acceptable to be identified as that, right? And that's the work that we've done as a movement. The challenge is that once it seems like it's not a pressing problem anymore, causes like ours may not seem as important, and they are. This sense of community that we create, this forward momentum, and the advancements we make for the understanding that these human rights affect everyone equally, that takes a long time to really get rolling. MLK didn't just solve slavery, right? Like there's still things to do.
Yes. And you can easily join to our cause, to the organization, in multiple ways. Honestly, I just showed up in events, find you guys at the Pride table. We are always there in every events. There is all of our representatives, at least like 2 or 3 in every events. We are there. Just come to the table, talk with us. We give you some details. What is the next one? And you can check every event on our website. It's always posted for at least 3 months ahead.
Yeah, we have some of our hike is, Las Vegas Pride Outside. It's a hike series. It happens on second Sundays every month. The whole hike series is up for the year. Sometimes we have to modify those locations, so double check, before you show up. But the whole event calendar, the dates are set, the locations are set currently. We have a skate series that will happen, all ages events. These both that I just mentioned, our Las Vegas Pride Family Bingo events, are all ages. Very low cost to attend. Some of these events are free to attend. We do have 21 and up events, and then our calendar for Pride in October is coming up too.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait the festival again. It's gonna be amazing.
Engage with our podcast. Share this to your friends. Like this is something that will help us and help our community, and we are very much open to how we can continue to have that dialogue in very much a collaborative way that gets what we need out, and what you need out is what we need out, right? So be engaged, help us help the community.
And if you would like to come to the show and talk to us, you can always send us an email. And if you would like to talk any about it, you can leave us a comment and we can reach out and even talk to you. We are here for you, not for us.
Not reach out and touch melatonin. Hashtag.
No, don't put that as a hashtag.
Okay. Well, we're still working on that, but more to come.
More to come. Yeah. Thank you so much for everyone. I hope you guys have an amazing week for this week, and subscribe, like, and see you guys next week.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoo.